Hi, I'm Lakin, and welcome to another episode where you sit with me in the closet as I share my life, my growth, and my faith. And y'all, I am nothing if not transparent. A few months ago, I set out on a journey to become an entrepreneur. I had already started the LLC in 2020, and I felt like it was time to go full force into the entrepreneurial field. And I mean, I was being obedient to God. I put everything out there, left it all on the line, and I wanted to see how He was going to bless this thing that He gave me to do. So I launched out. I did a whole business and a book launch. I have a book. Everything is in my bio, linked in my bio. But I just wanted to, see, God, I'm being obedient, doing everything that you assigned to me, and I'm taking it seriously. I'm not trying to go back to Egypt. I'm trying to walk fully through and get to the promised land. And do you know that on the way there, it has been challenging? Like, challenging like I made a video about how not to have a poverty mindset, right? And so in this space, I'm thinking, I'm going to grow astronomically. It's going to all be great. No, no major hurdles can happen because I'm being obedient. But that is not what that means. And in this process, I've had to dig back into my bag of resources to be able to make it through this season. Somebody say frustrated. Somebody say disappointed. Somebody say unexpected. I mean, all these feelings have been with me since I began. And I wish I could tell you that it has all been worked out. And I wish that I could tell you that I made the best decision ever. I wish I could, but I know that it hasn't yet. And I'm still expecting it to. Nevertheless, the point of this video is to tell you how to make it when you have no money. So we've all heard the phrase, more money, more problems. Okay, so then the opposite of that should be no money, no problems. So that's the season that I've been in. I've had to have a financial pivot, and it has been humbling, of course, but I already knew that I had the skills to make the change. Even when I started out on the journey, I wrote down all my fears. What am I afraid of the most? That this will happen, that I'll be back in the situation, that these things will go wrong. And so, what I had to answer myself with is I have the skills and the tools to make it through difficult financial seasons. I just never wanted to use them again. I know that's understandable. So, we hear the scripture quoted that money answers all things, and it absolutely does. Hear me when I say this. This is not a backtrack on having money and being a good steward. This is not a backpedal on that. You still need to have good stewardship and you still need money in this world because we're in the world system. However, if you're in a hold, if you're in a transition, you need skills to make it through that transition. And so this morning while I was sitting in the shower, yes, I was sitting, because I get to that point sometimes where I just need to sit. I need to hear the water. I need to be able to process with the Lord. And one of the things that came to me is that it's not about the money. It's not about having the money because money fluctuates. There are times when I had a lot and I felt like, let me just stay in this space. I don't want to struggle ever again. I don't want to be down again. And then, it got to that point this time. And I was also still in that space where I don't want to be here. I don't want to feel this feeling. This reminds me of my childhood. This reminds me of growing up and not having everything I needed. I don't want to be here. I don't want my children here. And so it gives you that feeling of security when you have what you feel like you need. And notice I said feel because it's all a feeling that you're dealing with when you're going through a difficult season. And so, no, it's also reality. Let me stop myself there. It's a reality as well, but the overwhelming feeling of if this wasn't going this way, things would be much better. That is a feeling. So, as I was sitting there this morning, I said, it's been so much more important to me to know what to do in a situation like this. And if you stick to the end of the video, I'm going to share a resource with you that's going to help you get through those difficult times when you thought things were going to go one way and they went a different way. So, what did I do? And what am I doing now? I'm doing something that I didn't learn to do until I had to do it. And a lot of times in our situations in life, we will not push ourselves past what we don't have to do. And it's understandable. It makes sense that you're not gonna make yourself do something that you don't have to do. Who does? Who There are people who are disciplined in certain areas. They make themselves do what they don't have to do, but they enjoy it. And so when you don't enjoy it and you're making yourself do something you don't have to do, it's probably because you were pushed into that situation. And so for me, I was pushed back into this situation. So I had to figure out, I have a new house. I just got this house last year. I was bold to take a step of faith for even getting the house. And then to even say, okay, well, let me leave traditional work during this time. That was borderline crazy. Okay. But faith is crazy sometimes. Faith doesn't always make logical sense. Rarely does faith make logical sense. So from the outside looking in, it's always going to seem like, what are you doing? Why are you doing it? Who's going to support you if you do it? You can have all these things going on in your head, but none of them speak to the fact that there's something inside of you saying, go forward, don't stop, don't look back. It'll never change if you never change. So I've had to pivot. One of the things that I've had to do was learn or utilize what I knew in difficult seasons to apply it to this season. So things like loan modifications, skip a payment, things like food stamps, which I did get denied for, by the way. I'm upset about that. But those things are tools and things that you can use when you do not have money. Do they feel good? They don't feel good because I have managed well and I have paid on time most of the time. And so to be in a situation where I can't do what I know is right to do is difficult. But to be able to communicate is also important. And that's something that I didn't learn growing up. It's something that I had to learn in my adulthood. And so I want you to learn it too. So I want you to click the link to my Beacons page and get that guide that says no money, no problems. It's very quick. It's going to tell you some things that you can do when you're in a financial pivot. It's not overwhelming to read, and I believe it's going to help you if you're in a season where you are utilizing faith and it looks like you should not have done that. This is my business, and I am putting it out there because I want people to know that you're not wrong because you made a decision in faith and you believe that it will work out a certain way. And even if you have to go back to utilizing some of those skills that you had in the past to get ahead again or to stabilize yourself, don't beat yourself up because sometimes we need to go back. Sometimes we need that reminder that whatever we were placing our faith in and our hope in isn't where we should have been placing our faith and hope. And so I believe that this is encouraging. I hope that it is encouraging you. If you have any tips or skills or suggestions for anybody, please share them with me so people can be blessed and encouraged as well. So I hope you guys have a wonderful day.